Hey guys, welcome back to Amnesia, The Dark Descent. We're slowly moving towards the end game, and we are now going to go look for the pieces of Agrippa's orb. Blue fire. Though, it kind of looks more like blue-green, aquamarine? What's the name for blue-green? I don't know. I think aquamarine. Yeah. There was actually one of these on one of these areas that was unlit, which you could light. So in here, we hear gears. We come to this place much later on in order to get through to the final area. Here,
12th of August, 1839.
so this is when Daniel has been doing the warding rituals for some time, and he's just like gone from, I can't believe I'm doing this, to just another day.
The prisoners. Being around these degenerates makes me ill. None of them even tries to face their punishment with any kind of dignity.
He's completely broken now.
With their lies of innocence and their cowardly pleas of mercy. What can make a man fall so far from the grace of a civilized existence?
A bit of an ironic question.
Men, and I remind myself of it constantly. Still, I am thankful for God sending these monsters our way, as they will serve as the instruments of my salvation.
What happened to you, Daniel? I'll tell you what, Alexander happened.
How to use them effectively. Last time was messy, and the effect suffered from my inexperience. When the next warding is to be performed, I shall be ready.
So you'll miss that note if you don't come to the chancel first before looking for the orb. Like you. Look at all these gears. This is Amnesia, this is not Gears of War. Yeah, so we can't get into there just yet. So now we're gonna head back to the hub area. Look at that, the lantern has no effect. Like, what is this area? How is this in a castle? We're very clearly outside. That way, yes. So we come to this area technically 3 times if you decide to come up here first before getting the orbs, but realistically you only come up twice, because if you play this before, then the only real reason to come up here is to get this tar early and to get that note. So now that's spooky music. There's also this door here, which I believe is another way to come up here. It just goes through a different area of the castle, bypassing the sewers, I believe. I think that comes from the cistern.
Is she dead?
She is dead! She's probably someone you killed, Daniel! Back to the nave. Lord and him. Oh, what we got here?
These cells are meant to hold prisoners who are under treatment. The people you send for will end up here. Remember that the confinement itself works as a preamble to the torture, and you should pace yourself. Don't take anyone before they are ready.
Understood.
Sounds from the torture chambers are shuttled in through those pipes.
Stand in the light.
Manage your victims well, and let one prisoner's pain instill terror in his cellmate.
So, I don't know how many warding rituals it took to completely break Daniel. But, looking at his notes, this was on August 12th. And the previous one was 9th August, so it only took 3 days to completely break him. So that's not a lot of time. Although you have to wonder how many rituals were done in that time.
Ah, you again. Alexander is quite impressive in many ways, but he has grown impatient.
So these doors lead to the choir and the transepts. Just like these. I got tinder boxes. A little office area here. So Agrippa channels Wire. Wire taunts me from the other side. I trusted him with my true reason for my efforts, and still he insists on me releasing Agrippa. How an enlightened man can show such lack of compassion in a seat of power disgusts me. I can't bring myself to part from Agrippa, as he is and has been for centuries my only link to the worlds beyond. Wire claims he tries his best to release me from my banishment, but that he needs me to give him Agrippa first so he too can help. If he could guarantee success, I would happily oblige, but how am I to part from him if my return might be denied? I know what they are capable of. I have seen their deception. Optimism is a most hopeless feeling, but I must retain it. I shall prepare for his release. To release Agrippa without killing him, Wire told me to feed him a tonic made from a paralyzer, vitae, and tempter. The poisonous fungi should work as a paralyzer if I can find the internal gland from a large specimen. The choir seems to be a fertile grounds for this sort. I should then be able to extract its contents with the proper tools. The vitae could be extracted as usual from any agonized human victim's blood. I just need large amounts to distill it properly. Remember to collect this during the next torture session. Tempter, on the other hand, will prove more difficult. I don't think it exists in this world. Simply writing the word with these letters looks wrong. I believe it's a property of the secretion in the water-dwelling carank. I will have to address Wire with this, as he will have to supply me with a host. Also, a properly prepared well should suffice to contain it. So there's our notes telling us... Oh, wrong one. No, M. So that's the tonic that Agrippa needs. So we have to find 3 ingredients in order to make it. And this is also how you get the good ending, by freeing Agrippa. Another memory tube. In courts, the Order of the Black Eagle spew their politics at each other while I sit quietly in place, willfully forgotten. Once in a while, someone will notice me and lose themselves in a silent coward before regaining their senses. They all know I am the one and the same Alexander who helped their fathers and grandfathers to found this great order. I've seen them take their father's places, and they too will grow old and pass away, while I remain the same, aged not by time, but by anguish. So Alexander is basically immortal. Also, if you watch Because Science by Kyle Hill, he actually talks about why you wouldn't want immortality. Yep, that's right. So the choir is the scary part, the transept is the calm part. Let's get the scary part out of the way. And this is also my least favorite part in the game. So here is where more of the warding rituals were done. I think this is where the bulk of them were performed. I'm just not entirely sure, because there was also that area in the chancel that we saw, which also had a torture table. I think oil. Oh, getting low. Use it all up. Make sure I pick up everything. And a memory.
15th of August, 1839. The blood wards are failing. The shadow beckons, and its cry disarms my actions. Hurry. No time to spare. You have to kill another. Alexander produces a knife. He wants me to cut the flesh. Do it. Save yourself. He is a murderer, Daniel. He is evil. A cold-blooded killer. Hurry.
Not quite, Daniel. It's actually you who is like that. Look at this fancy dagger. Ooh, wavy, wavy.
Alexander, you must let me be. I have to concentrate.
pinch the man, cut the lines, cut the flesh, watch the blood spill, let it come. And there's this weird symbol that means who knows what. Please, I didn't do anything. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, that's very clever. I didn't do anything. Meow, meow, meow. I love that they put that in. A little bit of humor in a spooky game.
I did well. One life for another. You hear me, guardian of the orb? I did all this for you. Now, once more, withdraw your shadow from my domain.
You have to wonder if the warning rituals actually had an effect. So now we leave.
Alexander, there isn't much time. I can feel it. We must act swiftly. I will do whatever it takes.
But no, we didn't actually leave. That was just a flashback. Rose petals. How's our sanity? Oh, it's at its lowest. Which means we see this. Which is the guy we basically killed. So I think this is only shown at very low sanity. Like right here. And there's another one right there. I think I typically only see the one. Oh. There's the shadow again. Close these. Oh, I can push him. Whee! He's dead. He's not gonna mind. Push the body. Push the body. Hee. Okay, enough screwing around. That's technically desecrating the dead, so... Okay, now to the hard parts. Because there are brutes that spawn in here, I think 3 total, or 1 at a time. And one of them takes an unacceptable amount of time to despawn. Also, look how dark it is. Okay, so my typical strategy for the main hall of the choir is to just crouch walk around the wall.
Intentions, Daniel. Salvation. It used to be yours, but now you only seek misplaced revenge.
Really misplaced? Is it really misplaced, Alexander?
Is it for the greater good? Are you doing the world a service? It is you who caused all this pain and death. If you had accepted your fate and submitted to the orb when you first discovered it, none of this would have happened. It is curiosity in league with your selfishness that is killing us both.
Well, maybe if you hadn't lied to Daniel, this also wouldn't have happened, Alexander. So here we get to the first of the 3 torture chambers. Well, first of the 3 in this area. There are 6, as we know. And we hear the main Amnesia theme playing. And this is the Iron Maiden, as it's called. Boom! So if you touch the torture devices, you'll get text about the prisoners that were tortured in them. I think you can also hide in this one. I've never actually tried it. And we hear that ringing noise again. So that's the first piece. They're all different colors. That would get annoying if you had to hear it constantly. I've got so much laudanum. You think they'd also put in a potion to help raise your sanity, but that might have been a bit... I don't know if broken is the word. maybe exploitable? Open. Okay. Also, try not to have the lantern out in this area. Like I said, brutes. Sir, new contact slipping in. What is it? More brutes? Worse. So this is what I pretty much always do in this area. Just crouch walk. It's very dark. They can't see you unless you walk right in front of them. And if you crouch, you're even harder to see. Shift. No. Okay, you cannot move quickly while crouched. Just wanted to test. Also keep an eye out for tinderboxes and oil. Okay, so here's the bridge. So you cross this, and I believe the first brute spawns in. There he is. So that happens 3 times, if I recall correctly. But 2 of them do despawn. The one either doesn't or takes forever. And remember, they one-shot you. So you've got to be careful here. Don't rush. Okay, he's gone. Now this game does have, I believe, dynamic difficulty. So if you die like twice, I think, to the same enemy, then it removes that enemy and makes it a bit easier. Although you kind of have to go out of your way to die in this, or just be extremely unlucky. I have actually died in this part, where I hid behind one of these pillars that was much closer to the wall when the brutes were stomping around, but he still killed me, so clearly he was able to reach me. And I do know Markiplier died in this part, because he wasn't being very careful. We're safe. So here's the mushroom thing. This is where we get the paralyzer. So we just use the hammer and chisel. And there we go. And that raises our sanity. So all of these torture devices that are shown are actually real things that were used. So here we have the brazen bull, which is basically a human oven. Yep. Or piece number 2. Natural light. How? I mean, dink, okay. So we just gotta go get the 3rd piece of the ore from here. So I think what I'm gonna do is go this way. Because 2 of the pieces are on this side of the bridge, and only 1 is on the other side. So I think what I'm gonna do is just wander across the wall here, try to head back to the bridge, and then just follow the wall along the edge. Well, there's a second brute. So remember, the thing with the brutes and the grunts is you cannot look at them. So you basically have to just listen and try to triangulate where they are through their sounds. Well, I was looking at him. He's nearby. Oh, he's coming towards us, I think. I don't know if there's any way to manipulate them. Oh, he's gone. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this edge of the precipice, because I think the third piece is on the other end of this side of the bridge. You absolutely want to take this part of the game slowly. I forget if it was the second or third brutes that took forever to despawn. This is another very nerve-wracking part. Wall. Turn the box. Okay, I think this leads to the final torture room. No, it just leads to a wall. Oh. Okay, we're safe for now.
The wheel is good for keeping your victims still during the procedure. They can be bound around the circumference or simply stretched across, tying limbs to the spokes and rim. All tools are by this point useful, and you may administer the torture in any way you like. But the forte of the wheel is the gaps. When you have decided that the victim shall die, you can smash their limbs with a hammer, making them fold in between the frame.
But they'll die. Too quickly, I mean.
No, don't worry. The human body is much more resilient. They can survive for days until they finally succumb.
You have to wonder how true that is. Like, if you're badly injured, I mean, obviously you're gonna die from thirst, but how much do having injuries affected them? Okay, that's all the pieces from this section, and that puts us up to full, so now we just have to get the fudge out of here. I don't think there are any tinder boxes in there. Okay, so I think there's one more brute spawn. The wall like normal. I'm always happy to get away from this place. Whoa, there he is. Again, I don't know how well their vision is in this kind of lighting. Oh, there's the bridge. Okay. No, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Okay, where's the door? Where's the door? There's the door. I freaking hate that part. I do not like the choir. I like the singing type of choir, not the Amnesia type of choir. And as you can see, because our sanity is back to full, those corpses are gone. So now we head to the transept, which has nothing scary in it. And we'll just also go and say hi to Agrippa again.
Good to see. Incredible. You found Vile's recipe. Then there might still be a chance. Listen carefully. Alexander is working on opening a gate, a door to another realm. It's where he wants to go.
His world.
If you could put your anger aside, let him open the portal before you take your revenge. Let me pass the gate, Daniel. Please, find the ingredients and prepare the tonic Vile describes. And do so before you assemble the orb. The barrier keeping you from the inner sanctum will only be breached for a short time. Unless everything is taken care of before mending the orb, you won't be able to save him.
Okay, let's go and get the other 3 pieces. Ooh, what's in here? Water monster. Fun times. So what we do, we put this meat on here because we need to get the secretion from the Carrick. So let's just feed him some yummy meat. And that's also sanity again. You have to wonder what these things actually look like, because they're never given an actual form. And now we just pull this up again. And now we have the secretion and the gland, so we just need blood. See ya. The transept. That's Daniel, definitely. So we have this very chapel-looking area, although chapel wouldn't have cages.
How much more, Baron? How much more am I supposed to withstand? Kill me already! Kill me!
This one. Prepare him.
So on one of my previous playthroughs of this, I think I might have been at low sanity, but one of these cages actually had a human corpse in it. It's never happened again, so I'm guessing that was removed later on. Oil. Okay. And in these torture chambers, we actually get images of how they work, which is charming. So you can touch them to get more text, and if you actually interact with this, you can hear the torture being administered, which we're not going to do. So that's that. So there is nothing scary in the transept. You can afford to take your time, and you don't have to worry about brutes or grunts chasing you, which is very nice. It's good to have breather sections.
cradle is ready.
Good.
You're a man! How can you partake in this?
Is he all right?
He is one of the wicked. Don't pay his lies any attention.
I'm not a bad man! It was an accident!
He set a man on fire.
It wasn't my fault! Why won't anyone listen?
That's horrible.
Of course. We are dealing with monsters here.
There's only one monster in this game, Alexander, and that's you. I mean, you could also say that Daniel also is one, but he was basically tricked by Alexander, so can you really say he's truly a monster?
Please! Do anything! Whatever you want! Anything! I'll do anything! I'm innocent!
I don't even want to know what all these tortures feel like. He's number 5. Why did I just crouch? Okay, last piece. And we also get to pick up something else that we need. There is also something up that spiral staircase we need to pick up, but we'll get there later. And here, we actually hear the torture being administered. I don't know why they make it sound like you're sawing through wood. Yeah, how's that for a nice vision? Oh wait, I'm missing something. But first, final or peace. So, we need the blood from that drain, but we need one thing first. No, it's dark. Oh, there's the shadow again. I think it was around there that a body would appear on the cages. I don't know. Like I said, it only happened once. But that's all the time we have for this episode, so I will see you guys in the next one.